Great day, great day, great day. It is the Thursday thought, our first Thursday thought of 2021. What's on the table? What's the 411? Where are you heading? What do I need to prepare for? How are we going to get there? But it is the Thursday thought here on today. So if you're coming in and listening, go ahead and tag a friend, like a friend, make sure that someone can hear, see, and understand what we're about to get into today. Welcome to those of you that are coming in to show support. I greatly appreciate your presence of being here on today. But today, we have a topic today, and that topic is called dilemmas, distractions, and desire. Dilemma, distractions, and desires. This Thursday thought is an interactive conversation between me and you and the Supreme Universe to help us be able to walk through some of the paradigms, some of the things that keep tripping us up, to have a little common place where we can enjoy each other. So before we get started, I'm going to ask you to do some things that I always ask you to do. I want you to go ahead and give me your city and state. Marion, why do you need my city and state? I want to know your city and state. So when the day comes for me to begin to travel again, I can reach out to you. Or maybe you come to me with a situation and I can refer you out to someone right there in your city that may be in my network or my family or mastermind community. It's always about building relationships and keeping the connections. It's never about just, hey, it's just all me, it's all you, this is what I want. We are here today to have a connection and rise ourselves to a higher level of collective consciousness that allows us to be able to grow and send forth what we desire. What do you desire? Is it peace? Is it wealth? Is it prosperity? Is it love? Is it an optimal physical wellness and agility? Is it your emotional mental stability? Is it financial assurances? Whatever it is, you definitely gonna do this. Give me your city and state. Thank you for joining me on today. I see you there. I see you there. The next thing after you give me your city and state, I want you to begin with our mantra. Let me tell you what our mantra is. Our mantra, hey Wendy, hey Sadie, our mantra is simply this: focus, 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 right? Focus, focus, focus. Sounds like hocus pocus, which means to bring it forward. But when you say focus, 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 that's something we're going to be implementing on today to make sure that we are all on the same page. Why? Because we want to make sure that what we are doing is for the highest and greater good of ourselves and those we care about. So if you're listening right now and you want to just say, focus, focus, focus. If you think you're going to be listening to me and somebody on Clubhouse and me and somebody else, go ahead and give me a few moments. I'm only going to be here for 30 minutes. Now we're almost down to 20 minutes. So I want to make sure that everyone is here is getting an idea. Your dilemmas, your distractions, and your desires. How does that come to be? You got to focus, focus, focus. Let's get our mindsets and reminder and reset and know that we're going to focus, focus, focus. Welcome to everyone that's joining us here on tonight. So once we get done focusing on the things that matter, prioritizing our thoughts, getting ourselves into a perspective about what's important and valid in our lives. So we're going to look at our spirituality. We're going to look at our health and wellness. We're going to look at our emotional, mental. We're going to look at our career, education, and business. We're going to look at our finances. I don't know how I got that out of my way, right? We're going to look at all of those aspects. And yes, finances are different from your job. Your job is what you do. The finances is how you manage the results of you giving your time and energy to your business or to your career. I know we want to clump them together all the time, but they're not. That's why I said we got to focus, focus, focus. Let's get into the details, right? Let's begin to really understand what it is we want to offer ourselves. So when we're focusing, 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 it's getting us to a place of intentional actions. We can be inspired and motivated, but we got to have some intentional action. So we're going to guide you. So what I'm doing right now is an example of that. I'm saying, hey, focus on this mantra. Focus, focus, focus. What are you focusing on? You're focusing on identifying the distractions and dilemmas that you're having so that you can replace them with your desire. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Oh, y'all thought I was going to start up later on. No, 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 no. We start the moment we come together because the first thing you have to do is focus. Focus, prioritize, and know what you value. That's the first part of that. That's the first part. So let's get going. And the last mantra I want you to think about is that you are the best thing growing. We talked about this last week about you being the fruit or the tree. Are you the fruit or are you the tree? And we came to the conclusion that being the tree is far more of an advantage than being the fruit. Because when you're the fruit, you have no control. You can't determine that you're going to continue to grow and expand and transform. But as a tree, you have the ability to put your roots deep into the ground. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You put your roots into the ground and you can begin to find the fertile soil and pull the nutrients and the resources that you need. You can begin to grow and begin to have branches that have multiple perspectives, multiple impacts along the way and influence, but yet you are still the root, the base, and the best thing growing. Hello, hello. You are the best thing growing. Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? Right? If you with me, just say, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I need y'all to stay contacting with me so I know who's here and I can keep talking. That's the thing that feeds me, right? So the best thing growing, you are the tree, you are growing, you are bringing forth new ideas, you are bringing forth new ways of sustainability, you are bringing forth opportunities for and you to actually have what you believe, say, and practice. Now, sometimes that can come out to be something else because some of us believe, but we're not really practicing. Some of us say, but we don't believe, and we're not practicing. Some of us are practicing, but we don't believe in, and we sure enough not going to say it because we're afraid somebody else is going to take it over. I'm here to tell you we're going to stop all that. We're on a different level and we're moving forward. Thanks to everybody that's being here with me on tonight for the Thursday Thought. Again, I am Marian's sister, Afua of Exponential Existence. We focus on personal mastery, financial assurances, and how to develop rewarding and reciprocating relationships to handle those 6 life structures we talked about earlier, to take a seat in our life and have the desires of our heart. That's simple. Some people get upset and go, "Oh, you can't say desires of your heart. It's not a good thing." Why not? It is all about you staying in an alignment. It is about you having awareness, alignment, right? Being able to stay committed, being able to go forward in movement that's intentional. And therefore, you're going to continue to be the best thing growing. Welcome, 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 everybody. I'm so excited to see y'all folks on here. Some folks I haven't seen in a minute. But we're going to carry on. So tonight we're going to start up our conversation tonight here on the Thursday Thought. And I just want to remind you that if you ever want to get into, if you like what you hear, if you want to follow up, you can't stay to the end. You're going to come back for the replay. I'm going to tell you this right here and right now. I do want you to do something at the end of this call. At the end of this broadcast tonight, I want you to do one thing, and I want you to go to my website and I want you to join my mailing list. I want you to join my mailing list because there are things I'm going to be sharing. I want you to join my success, self mastery with Marian Afua group. It's free. You get all kind of information. We're going to get interactions, and that's how we're going to do it. But join the mailing list so you can be the first ones to get it. I'm not going to bother you that way, but I am going to share you information that I know that is valuable and that is viable, and there's things that you can do that can get you closer to where you want to be. If that's all good, fine, and said, let's talk about something tonight. I want to talk about tonight the idea of having distractions, dilemmas, and desires. And I want to say that just like that, distractions, dilemmas, and desires. Sometimes people are asking us questions like, hey, like, how do you do this? How do you do that? Well, the way that we do business, the way that you run your life is going to be based upon what you believe. It's going to be based upon what you entertain. It's going to be based upon how you create spaces in your life for things that are not benefiting you. So once you decide what you want, I know when we were children, they asked us I remember it happening in preschool or kindergarten, probably preschool, right? When they were like, oh, what are you going to be when you grow up? And we would all say what we're going to be. We're going to be a doctor. We're going to be a fireman. We're going to be a nurse. We're going to be a mommy. We're going to be a daddy. All those things that we talked about, that's because we were influenced by the whole process of our environment. So what we saw, heard, and what we saw and perceived to be something worthy of us investing in, that's what we did. So when you're talking about now, but what is it that you really want? Well, I know what I want. I don't want this. I don't want that. That's very easily said and done. I don't want. Or I no longer want to. We can say that very easy, and we can run a list down that would take an entire hour. But what I want you to think about today is, what do you really want? What are the distractions? What are the dilemmas that you're having? Tony Robbins gave me a definition one time, and he says when a person has a dilemma, that means they don't have enough options that are visible. So they need to step back and get a wider view. A dilemma means you got one thing or the other. We never like to do that, right? But when we have a whole plethora, which is what our life is, has a whole plethora of opportunities, options that we can choose from, as long as we step back and embrace it. So stepping back to embrace that desire, my desire to be peaceful, my desire to be abundant, my desire to be prosperous, my desire to be productive, my desire to have optimum health and wellness, my desire to have the maximum level of mental and emotional stability, my desire to have, continuing education, expanding my career, building my business and scaling it, the ability to understand and have a positive relationship with my money. That's a desire. You may have similar desires. I'm just talking about things people have shared with me over the years. But you have to be clear on what that desire is. No one else can give you your desire but you. They may prompt you, they may inspire you, but your desire is yours. And once you come up with that desire of what you really want, what's really desiring you, then you have to make a decision that that's what you want. You have to decide what you want. How many of you have ever decided what you want without the fear of being rejected? I ain't even gonna go there yet. Let's just say, how many of you have ever actually made a decision about something you want without anyone else's influence? It was really made for your benefit. If that's you, I want you to say type of one in the chat box. If you've ever made a decision that was to do what you want, decide what you want. Once you make the decision that you're going to do what you want, what you want, that's when the process begins. Because after you start saying, I desire this, I decided that I am going to, from now on, I'm going to wake up every morning. I'm going to do 40 squats. I'm going to do 40 jumping jacks. I'm going to drink a liter of water. I'm going to run up and down the stairs twice. And I'm going to do a plank for 7 minutes. That's once you decide that, then you have to decide, what do you have to do to prepare yourself prepare to give up in order to have it. So if you go with the routine we just talked about, waking up every morning to do those 40 squats, 40 jumping jacks, drink your liter of water, run up and down the stairs 2 times, and be able to come back before you start your day, what do you have to give up? Most of us want things, but we're not willing to give up anything to make space for it. We talked about the ability of space. Space is available for you. Space is your control. You control your space. So if you are controlling your space, then you need to be aware of what you want in that space. But if you're not willing to get rid of all and sacrifice all the things and give up some things, and I'm saying just like that, give up, sacrifice, get rid of the things that are not benefiting you. Get rid of the things that are not benefiting you or bringing you closer to your desired result. How about that? If you can bring yourself closer to your desired result by releasing something that's taking up space. How many of y'all clean out y'all closets every year or every quarter, right? That's the whole point where I'm saying to you that you want to do the same thing in your life. Some of us are walking around with the intention of changing our life, making room for love, making room for abundance and prosperity, making room for improvements in our career, our education, and our business, making room, we say, for us to be able to travel more, have more peace, have more calmness, to have optimal level health, to be more in tune and aligned with our spirituality, and actually activating it in a way that it could benefit us. But we don't make room. We don't make room. We're not opening up that space and clearing out the old ways and the old thoughts and the old memories and the old reminders. We just want to move some things into that space because it's what we want to do. It's no longer enough. You have to not only decide what you want, but you also have to be willing to give something up. to make room for it. And when I say that, it's not about saying, hey, I'm going to stop eating, I don't know, fried chicken every day. And you keep the fried chicken in the back of the refrigerator. You don't actually stop buying it. You have to make room. And the thing that you're going to get rid of, you have to replace instantly. And I was reminded of that on a call with Bob Proctor recently when he talked about that. When you have a habit, it takes 21 days. Some people say 28, 21 to 28 days to change a habit. But here's the thing. If the habit is not benefiting you or you need to adjust it, you need to immediately have something there to replace it. You can't wait. That's why I said, what are you prepared to give up? If you want a relationship, that means you gotta be prepared to allocate some time for a relationship. If you want to have more sales in your business, you have to allocate time, right, to be able to make sales calls or to be able to be available for customers or open up your shop at a certain time to get the most opportunities come through your door. What are you prepared to give up? And then truly begin to believe what you said you want is valid. Is that desire burning? Welcome, Vivian. Don't worry about it. You good, my life. Hey, Ruth, Keon, Mona. Thank y'all for being here. What do you want? And what are you willing and prepared to give up? Because you can't have, I mean, it doesn't benefit you, right, to have the opposing things in your hand. You need to be able to go and grow. Remember, we're the best thing growing. Hey, the best thing growing. On this Thursday Thought, we're talking about dilemmas, distractions, and desires. Your desire has to be so much more than just the experience of saying, I want this. This is why when on New Year's Eve, and y'all said, what's your resolution? I reminded you, it's not about a resolution. A resolution means you're finding a new solution. Means to do again. Solution. So you're going to look at your life over the last 12 months. You're going to be reflective and you're going to determine what new solution has to be implemented in the upcoming 12 months. So that's why your decision has to be made that you are going for your desires of your heart, that you are going for the results that are burning deeply within you. If your results are for you to be a homeowner, then you must be prepared to let go of the excessive spending. You must be prepared to pay your bills on time. You must be prepared to start saving money for that. You must be prepared to take time out to go visit houses. You must take time out to get your mind ready to start performing and thinking like a home owner. Your desire is what we're talking about today. In the book Think and Grow Rich, the word desire is the first principle that they talk about from in that book. Napoleon Hill talks about desire. He talks about Edwin C. Barnes, who went on to become the partner of Edison and then later on made his own fortune in other ways. But he didn't have the money to get to Edison. He wasn't aware really even how he was going to become his partner, but he just knew he desired to be part of something that was good and productive. If that's you, if you desire to be part of something good and productive, or even just be something good and productive because you're already good, type a 2 in the group. If that's you, if you're ready to be something productive and purposeful, is that you? Type a 2 in the room. Type a 2 in the chat room right here, right now. If you are willing to do that, because your desires have to exceed the distractions and the dilemmas that we're faced with every day. Absolutely, positively. We have to be willing to buckle down and harness ourselves down and use all the brilliance that we have. Use the wherewithal, the skills, and the training, and we got to fix our minds on that desire, on that want. And when those distractions and dilemmas try to rise up in our lives, we have to be willing to say, nope, I am going to be a productive, purposeful person. Absolutely, positively, so it is. I'm going to be moving forward because I'm the best thing growing. I focus, focus, focus. See how that comes back? Desires are not to be confused with dilemmas. Dilemmas are saying, hey, I got to choose one or the other. And in some ways, we are doing that when we decide what we're going to give up, but it's not in direct conflict. We're saying, I want to be happy versus sometime happy. And then you make the decision and you start being happy. You act happy. You surround yourself with happy people. You listen to happy things. You watch better shows that are going to keep you in a joyful mode. That's what it's about. Absolutely, positively, so it is. That's what it's about. Thank you all for participating. Absolutely. Absolutely, positively. All right. So we want you to start considering those conversations that you have with yourself, being clear that when you're setting a desire for yourself, you desire to be a better wife, a better mother, a better husband. You desire to contribute to your finances more regularly, to be a good steward, as people always throw out here. Absolutely. Happy people. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Right? We're saying focus, focus, focus. What is your real desire? And don't let your desire be disguised either. Sometimes we want to disguise our desire, disguise our issues as desires, or our manipulation, or our procrastination. When you get that desire, you're going to begin to be drawn to the things and the research, like that tree. You're going to start planting your roots and you're going to start filling out what has to be done. Absolutely, positively, so it is. So really put your mind upon the thing you desire, the thing you want, and then get into action. I'm on this podcast today. I've been I never should have let my mentor know I'm on Clubhouse, because now he's pulling me into all type of conversations. And one of the things we talking about is, get into action. We're so busy collecting information. We on everybody's podcast, everybody's live. We reading everybody's book. We face what do you call it? Screenshotting all of the memes that we see. We're sharing out information, but when do you take the time to do the action, to implement, to apply it? And there's no judgment, no harm, no foul in this. No judgment, no harm, no foul in this. We're all guilty. I told you earlier last year, when SARS-CoV quarantines actually started happening, I realized that I had paid for a program and I had not completed it. But once I went through the program and completed it, I became better emotionally and mentally. I became better in my finances because it showed me something I was missing in my business that I needed to do. It also allowed me to have better relationships because now I wasn't on edge and I can talk freely to my clients. I can talk freely to my family members without the pressure, because I found the missing link that I needed. Because I took time to implement, to actually do the work. Actually do the work to get what you want. I watched the show, Undercover Billionaire. If you're in my mentor program, I talked about it. So in that movie, Undercover Billionaire, it comes on television and I'm watching it. And I realized that watching them go through this process of having $100, a car, $100, no place to stay, and trying to establish in 90 days $1 million business, that takes a whole nother level. But here's what I realized. I said, you know what? They can do it. Because it's not about the money they have now. It's about the desire they have to do it. Ha! The fact that they have that information, those knowings inside of their brains, they can focus, focus, focus. No, they don't know their real names. No, they're not aware of their background. But the information and the knowledge that you have and that commitment to what you desire and want will exceed everything. It will exceed everything. But again, you have to be willing to speak what you want and desire. You have to be willing and be prepared that there may be something you have to give up. For me, it was me having to give up television. Unless everything was good and I had met a certain pot, I don't watch television. Running to different networkings, spending money for different subscriptions. Like that's something that I learned in going through and working with my high performance coach, is that they taught me a long time ago. Look at every November, December, look at the subscriptions you have, look at the memberships you belong to, the associations, and ask yourself in the last 12 months, how has this contributed to your values, your vision, and your mission as a person and as a business owner? If you cannot do that, if it's not contributing and in alignment, then you need to release it. That's that sacrifice. What are you willing to give up to get what you want? If I'm paying out $2,000 a month for something that's not benefiting me, what could I do with that $2,000 another way, or $100 or $50? Somebody asked me in my money plan group, and you all are welcome to join. Once you become on the mailing list, which is running below, you're going to be able to access the money plan, because it's part of my requirement for all of the people that come in my program. I want you to know your money. Most of y'all say, oh, that's the lady, she made, my friend made $1 million when she talked to her, or my friend business blew up. When it all depends on what the person's going to do. But it all begins right here in your mind, in your belief, in your desires that are flowing through your heart and bringing forth an energy. What are your desires? Are you prepared and willing to make the decision to give something up, to release it, and trust that you're going to be okay, because you are. Distractions come because our subconscious mind, and we start vibrating this energy, and we're surrounding ourselves with the wrong thing. When I used to do send out cards, Cody used to say from the stage, he and Jordan Adler would always say something about, one of the slogans for send out cards was that, chickens don't fly with eagles. Chickens don't fly with eagles. And that was remind us that we're eagles in this program. We're seeing that we're willing to go high above and look down and see what's available. Get the big picture, not just stay close to the ground, pecking on the ground and hope that we come up with some food. Hello. Ooh. If that makes sense for you, y'all, just give me something on the chat. Respond to me in the chat. I don't care if it's a high five. I don't care if it's a giggly gliggly. Just give me something if you got that. Chickens do not fly with eagles. Chickens are on the ground, making noise, pecking on the ground, hoping that they get a come up. They're hoping they get a come up. They're unsure. They're just going. They busy. They active. But what are they bringing? What results are they getting? Are they getting what they want? Versus the eagle that soars high. Versus the eagle that's flying high. Woo! The eagle is flying high. And the eagle's able to see its meal, to see its prey. And it swoops down into that water at the right moment, and it swoops up that fish, or it swoops up that rabbit, or it swoops up whatever it's going to eat. Because it's patient and it's focused. What are your desires? Are you willing? As we come into a close, I want to remind you, your desires require you to be like that eagle. Your desires require you to be that tree. Your desires require you to remember that you are purposed and you are productive. No more distractions. Oh, they're going to come. And they're going to come in the form of the people you care about. They're going to come in the forms of your job. Do not negate your job duties because you opening up a business or because you got a mission, you got a calling. You must be an esteemed employee in your position, because right now that job is the best investor you have to contribute to your vision, to bring about your desired results. Huh? Absolutely, positively, so it is. If we can resonate and rise ourselves up, what is your desire? On every level of your life, the six life structures, your spirituality, looking at your emotional, mental, your education, your career, your business, your finances. What's your relationship with your money? What's your desire for your money? What's your desire for you to have continuity in your relationships on every level of your life? What is your decision today? Decide what you want. Decide what you're going to be prepared to give up to get it and to have it. Be sure to put your mind on it. Begin to implement some skills. Position yourself strongly on good, fertile ground. Connect yourself to the right resources and nutrients, and then get into action to fulfill that desire. Get into the action. Take the steps. Build yourself up moment by moment, day by day. Listen, y'all know I told you, go to my website, exponentialexistence.com. Go ahead and join my mailing list. Let's have some conversations. One of the things I want to tell you, you're going to probably find out about, that I'm going to email you out again about, is my mentorship program. A mentor is designed to support you to get to where you want to be. If you desire, right? If you desire, you know how to, you got the skills, the talents, and the ability, just not sure how to put it together, get a mentor. Get a mentor. If you need a coach, if you really need some direct guidance and support, some walkthrough, a sounding board, someone that's going to encourage you, that also can see the big picture as you are implementing, go ahead and do my mailing list, and let's find out more about that and get into one of my coaching programs. Oh yeah, they're accessible, because if you desire it, then you can definitely be a part of it. This has been your Thursday Thought. I am Marianne Sister Aful of Exponential Existential, your personal mastery and financial assurances corporation here in Arizona. Thanks so much for allowing me to be a part of this, of your time tonight, because time is your second greatest asset. We got to use it right. Spend some time getting into action. Make a decision. Determine what you're going to do to give it up, to give up to get it, and fulfill that decision you made and support it. And then get into action. Absolutely, positively. This has been your Thursday Thought. Have a good night.